morning. Today we can deal with the module from the paper Atomic, Nuclear and Particle Physics. That is many electron atoms. In that we can deal with the electron spin. Many studies were undergone to find out the atomic structure. So at first there are three quantum numbers were revealed using the concept of or using quantum mechanics, the quantum mechanical aspect, that are principal quantum number, orbital quantum number and magnetic quantum number. And principal quantum number, the symbol is N, orbital quantum number, the symbol is S, and magnetic quantum number, the symbol is ML. The possible values are for N equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. This we have already learned in the case of this atomic structure chapter, the first module of this paper, that is atomic structure, where you were studied the Lyman series, Balmer series, Paschen series, brackets, etc. So the quantity determined from this principal quantum number is the electron energy. So the next is the orbital quantum number. The possible values are 0, 1, 2, etc. up to n minus 1. This actually determines the orbital angular momentum magnitude, that is SPDF, that is the orbits. So the third one is the magnetic quantum number, that is represented by ML. So this is having minus L, 0 to plus L values, or plus or minus L and 0 values. So this is actually gives the orbital angular momentum magnitude. But there are two main problems. The some of the experimental observations couldn't explain using these three quantum numbers. So one is the fine structure, and the fine structure means many spectral lines actually consist of two separate lines that are very close to each other. So one of these spectral line is Balmer. Either you can take the Balmer series of hydrogen, that is from n equal to 3 to n equal to 2. The lambda you will get actually from the equation is 653.6 nanometer. But actually there are two spectral lines which are 0.14 nanometer apart. So by calculation you will get only this value, but by experiment you can see that there are two spectral lines which are 0.14 nanometer apart. That is the one failure of the atomic structure as far as developed, or the using the three quantum numbers we have some drawbacks here. The next thing is the anomalous Zeeman effect. What is Zeeman effect? The spectral line of atom in a magnetic field is split into three components in the presence of magnetic field. That is the normal Zeeman effect. So it is split into three components. But actually the spectral line of an atom is in magnetic field is split into many components, or more than three components in the presence of magnetic field. That is known as the anomalous Zeeman effect. This anomalous Zeeman effect and the fine structure couldn't be explained using the three quantum numbers. So this is actually the splitting of these spectral lines into in the presence of magnetic field. You can see that this is there is no magnetic field. Here in the case of normal Zeeman effect, this one will split into three components. This is actually anomalous Zeeman effect, that is this is split into four components, and this is split into six components. This is some the splitting in some element. So you can see that there are splitting of the spectral line into more than three components, that is the anomalous Zeeman effect. So in that scenario, two Dutch students, that is Samuel Goudsmit and George Uhlenbeck, in 1925 proposed that every electron has an intrinsic angular momentum called spin, whose magnitude is same for all electrons. So, and associated with this angular momentum, there is a magnetic moment. So they just propose the concept of an electron spin or an intrinsic angular momentum, that is known as the spin, and associated with each of the associated with this angular momentum, this intrinsic angular momentum, there should be some magnetic moment. They consider the electron as a charged sphere spinning in its own axis. So when a charged sphere is spinning in its own axis, since there is rotation, it should have some angular momentum, and it should also have some, if there is angular momentum, there is some magnetic moment. So their concept is the electron as a charged sphere. And the rotation involves angular momentum, and it has a magnetic momentum mu s, which is opposite to the direction of angular momentum vector s. Because the electron is having a negative charge, this magnetic moment is opposite to the direction of this angular momentum vector s. This rotation of electron spin provided to be successful in explaining wide variety of atomic effects. So this concept of intrinsic spin, it is able to explain the vast variety of atomic properties other than the two observed one, that is the fine structure and anomalous Zeeman effect. The concept is able to explain so many or wide variety of the atomic effects. But there are some drawback for the charged spin concept. Even though the spin concept is able to explain so many atomic effects, the charged sphere concept has some drawback. So there is spin, but this is not the real concept. That we cannot consider electron as a charged sphere, since the one drawback of this charged sphere concept is the scattering of electrons by other electrons shows that the size should be 10 raised to minus 16 meter. So the scattering experiment shows that the scattering element should have a size of 10 raised to minus 16 meter. So if an object is having 10 raised to minus 16 meter, it is obviously should be a particle. An object shouldn't have such a very small size. It should have some large size than this 10 raised to minus 16. So if the size of the electron is around 10 raised to minus 16 meter, means this object is not a sphere, it is merely a particle. That is, electron is only a particle. The second drawback is we have some angular momentum for associated with the electron, that is, we can observe some angular momentum. So in order to obtain this angular momentum, this charged sphere should rotate with a velocity many times larger than the velocity of light. So if electron is a charged sphere, this charged sphere should rotate a velocity many times larger than the velocity of light. Then only we will get the value of angular momentum as observed, or the this theoretical value will only match with the observed value of the angular momentum. So the concept of charged sphere is incorrect, but the concept of spin was correct. So in 1929, the fundamental nature of electron spin was confirmed by Paul Dirac, and he showed that the spin is there. There is some intrinsic angular momentum, and he told that a particle with the mass of the electron and the charge of the electron should have an angular momentum, and there should be some magnetic moment. So he proved his this new fundamental concept or fundamental nature of the electron spin. So this quantum number, the quantum number S, describes the spin angular momentum of electrons. So it should have some spin. So this quantum number spin S describes the spin angular momentum of electrons, and the value of S is half. So the spin is able to describe the, or associated with spin, you should have spin angular momentum, and the value of this spin is half. And the magnitude of the angular momentum S is given by, or due to spin, is given by capital S equal to root of S into S plus 1 H cross. That is equal to root 3H by 2. This is the similar equation that you will have in the case of orbital quantum number, that is capital L is equal to small l into L plus 1 H cross. So here S is having only the value half. You can see that the magnitude will give root 3 H cross by 2. And also there are different orientation for this angular momentum, that is known as the space quantization. Space quantization means the orientation in the space. So for this spin angular momentum we have different orientations, and these orientations were given by or represented by the letter ms, or spin angular momentum. The quantization of space quantization of the spin angular momentum is given by the letter ms. This is actually the spin magnetic quantum number. So ms given by ms. So it should have the number of orientations is given by the value 2s plus 1. So s is half, so 2s plus 1 is 2. So there are two possible orientations for this or associated with the spin. So we can orient the angular momentum or the spin angular momentum in two directions. Spin magnetic quantum number, that is represented by ms, is we have this is actually gives the orientation of this spin in the space. So there are two possible orientations for this spin angular momentum. The orientation is specified by ms equal to plus half and ms equal to minus half. This is for spin up and this is for spin down. Only two possible orientations, one is up and one is down. And again we have a component of this angular momentum, that is capital S, in the direction of magnetic field. So we are giving the external magnetic field in the direction of Z or in Z direction. So we can find the component of Sz in the direction of magnetic field, component Sz of the spin angular momentum in the direction of given magnetic field, that is given by Sz is equal to ms into h cross. So what is the value of ms? Ms is equal to plus or minus half into h cross. This is the Z component of spin angular momentum. Again we can see that there is spin magnetic moment associated with the angular momentum. So associated with the angular momentum, the magnetic moment is given by minus E by m into S, where S is equal to root 3 h cross by 2. And also we have the Z component of this magnetic moment associated with this angular momentum, that is given by minus E by m into Sz. So minus E by m into what is Sz? Plus or minus half h cross. So minus E by m into plus or minus half h cross. That is minus E by m into plus or minus, again it will be plus minus or plus, or we can write plus or minus E by m into half h cross. So this is the Z component of the spin magnetic moment, that is represented by mu Sz is given by this quantity. This is actually can be represented, this value is equal to mu b, which is known as the Bohr magneton. Bohr magneton is given by the equation Eh cross by 2m. So the Z component of this the magnetic moment, spin magnetic moment along the Z direction is given by mu Sz, which is equal to plus or minus Eh cross by 2m, which is actually equal to plus or minus mu b, which is known as the Bohr magneton. So you can see that this is the orientation of this spin angular momentum vector. You can see that the Z component is plus half h cross minus half h cross. The magnitude of this spin is root 3 by 2 h cross. The magnitude of the spin angular momentum is given by root 3 by 2 h cross. So it should have two orientations. One is in the plus half direction, and the other one is ms, which is in the minus half direction. So this is actually ms is actually, you have this sz here, the component of in this magnetic field direction, so that is plus half h cross. So you can join this point, this plus half h cross, and this magnitude to some point. So this is the one orientation here. So again minus half h cross, and this same magnitude, that is root 3 by 2 h cross. So you will get here in this point, so this two will meet here, so this will, you will get the second orientation here. So this is the two orientations, that is, this is actually the orientation of this spin magnetic quantum number, spin magnetic moment is quantum number, or spin angular momentum, the orientation of the spin angular momentum in space. So now almost all the atomic structure or the properties or the characteristic of the atomic structure was revealed using the four quantum numbers, and the fourth quantum number is the spin magnetic quantum number represented by ms, and the possible values are plus half and minus half, and it is actually give the electron spin direction of this electron spin in the space. So principal, so this is the value for principal is 1, 2, 3, etc. up to n. Orbital quantum number 0, 1, 2, etc. up to n minus 1. For magnetic quantum number, it is minus L2 plus L. So spin magnetic quantum number ms is taking the value plus half and minus half. That is actually electron spin direction. So using these four quantum numbers, almost all the atomic effects can be explained. Next, we can move to the Stern-Gerlach experiment, Pauli's exclusion principle, periodic table, and some coupling, some spin orbit coupling, etc. that we can take in the next class. Now we can stop. Thank you.